Hey friends, I was just doing another video about the Warrior and it was boring, so I figured I'll do this one instead on JasonBlaha. So I'm going to react to the Bumbleclot himself, JasonBlaha, the fitness, the gym lifting recruiting fitness gear slave. Yes. So this Bumbleclot says limiting the tools you will use in the gym is keeping you below your potential. Okay, let's see what it has to say here. Hopefully this is a good one because I'm not dumping this one, I hope.
Limiting the tools you use in the gym is keeping you small and weak. Hey everybody, it's Jason.
Limiting the tools are keeping you small and weak. I would agree. The point about gym bodybuilding is to circulate between all bodybuilding apparatuses using all the tools that are available in the gym for bodybuilding. Why? Because unaccustomed exercise is known to cause widespread muscle damage. So you want to every week you come in and you lift trying to get damage to build your muscles, you definitely want to circulate. In other words, if you're doing bench press today, bench press, then next week you want to do dips, just exclusively dips. And then the following week, probably dumbbells. And then the following week you want to do cable presses. You can press with cables really heavy. So you circulate between exercises because why? Because unaccustomed exercises, unfamiliar forms of exercise are known to cause what? Widespread muscle damage. See what I mean? So you don't just want to get good at one or two exercises and stay there forever like the rest of these failed gym slaves. Get it, man? That's the point of bodybuilding. That's why there's so many variations, so many things that you could use.
JasonBlaha here. I thought I would chat with you guys and gals a little bit about this today. If you would, please click like down below. I would greatly appreciate it. Subscribe or follow me if you aren't. And please drop me a comment below, even if it's just to say hello. I would greatly appreciate it. All right, let's get over to this topic. You know, you always get people who...
Think about it. How many variations are there for shoulders? There's all kinds of presses behind the neck and front, right? So we got dumbbells we could press. We got barbells. Okay, we have cable machines that we could press. How about flies? Well, it depends on how you angle yourself with dumbbells and then, you know, cable machines, and then there's other machines to use if you want to fly. What about rear delt? There's all kinds of things you could do for rear delts. There's cable machines, dumbbells, there's barbells, whatever. There's so many things that you could do. Front delt, the same thing. There are so many different variations. You know what? You understand me, man? As far as like pull-ups, there's other variations for your lats. I mean, you could do pull downs one day using machines. You can really isolate them, doing them one arm at a time on like a sling thing, pushing down on your lats. There's also the pull-ups. You know what I mean? There's so many variations. You shouldn't just stick to one thing in the gym. You should circulate because, like I said, unaccustomed exercise is known to cause widespread muscle damage. Bro, you want to get good at everything.
They say really stupid stuff. I only use calisthenics. I only use barbells. I only use low reps. I only use high reps. I only use this.
Yes, because you have hybrid type 2 muscle fibers. They're hybrid. The reason why you want to do all different kinds of things in the gym, like powerlifting stuff too as well, what you call powerlifting, bodybuilding powerlifting, okay, eccentrically. The reason why you want to do that is because, I just said, unfamiliar forms known to cause widespread muscle damage. You're going to tap into other hybrid muscle fibers.
Or I won't do that. And it's like, all right, guys, okay. If you are limiting the tools that you are willing to use to get bigger and stronger,
yes,
you are keeping yourself small and weak. This is not the...
Yes, I'm going to have to agree with Blaha there. The first time he makes sense.
Mindset of a successful champion.
That's why Blaha is weak, because he limits his tools. He just lifts concentrically, exclusively concentrically. He does not lift eccentrically. And eccentric is superior to concentric because if you lift eccentrically, you get stronger automatically concentrically. You understand me? So why skate uphill? Why skate uphill? See what I mean? Concentric exercises cannot make you good at eccentric. Get it? Doesn't make any sense. And He limits himself here. So he's limited. So does he make sense? And he's telling you not to limit yourself, yet he's limiting himself. So what kind of coach is this exactly? What kind of coach is he?
This is not the mindset of people who want results.
Okay.
Now, I think it's absolutely moronic to even have a mindset to where someone says, well, I prefer...
That made no sense.
Absolutely moronic to even have a mindset.
That made no sense.
To where someone says, well, I prefer to only do this. Like they'll say something like moronic.
Yeah, that's Blaha. He says that he doesn't do eccentric exercises. You should just do concentric and get strong. That's him. Bro, that's him.
I only do bodyweight exercises because it's just the more natural.
He says he only does concentric exercises. He doesn't do eccentric, and you shouldn't do them because he tries to claim that they don't build muscle and a bunch of stuff, okay? He makes up a bunch of shit. So he doesn't do, he calls it access, and here's another thing. He calls that lift accessory work because he's lifting concentrically. He calls it accessory. It's not accessory work.
The way to train. It's like the more natural way to stay small and weak and to not reach your potential.
Yeah. Stay small and weak and never reach your potential. Lift concentrically. Keep skating uphill. All of you, stay fat and weak.
I'm saying that as someone who thinks bodyweight exercises are fantastic.
I know. And then what are you going to do? Take a TRT, take a steroid so you could impress people lifting concentrically? So you got to inject strength to lift a heavy weight concentrically to try to impress people. That's even more crazy. Shit.
I love weighted chin-ups, weighted pull-ups, weighted dips. I think they're amazing exercises.
Yeah, but he doesn't do them eccentrically. See what I mean? He's missing out.
But you are limiting yourself. The moment you say something stupid like, I will not use a machine.
Look, he's doing a very light weight right here. These green weights with this rubber band. He actually went down pretty low for the first time, which was kind of odd, and only because it's really light. That's why he has the camera angled from the side. See what he's got on here? He's got 120, he's got 145-pound plate, because I could see it on the opposite side there, the blue plate. And he's got a green plate, 10 pounds. So what's he got here? 55 pounds. Who can't squat 55 pounds eccentrically? But he didn't even do it completely full, but it appeared that way.
Really? You never use a reverse hyper?
But he only did like what, 3 reps or 2 reps? Come on.
Tell me you wouldn't use a reverse hyper. All right, I think that you're eat up with the dumbass.
See what he's going to tell you. This is accessory work. He's got 2 plates and some rubber bands. Okay.
Then that would be my response to someone who tells me
this makes absolutely no sense. What is this?
I would never use a reverse hyperextension machine. All right. Again, as we say in the South, you're ate up with the dumbass then.
Well, Blaha doesn't use any machines because he's not in a gym. He's in his garage.
Look that up if you don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Basically means you're a moron. And you are. All right.
Yes, Blaha is a moron because he never does any eccentric work.
I mean, you really are. To make such an absurd statement.
It really is.
When it's pretty well documented.
He's going to die never knowing what it's like to be strong, really, really, really strong, actually building muscle and being really super strong. Physically super strong, super fast. Strength, power, speed, and performance. He's never going to know. Never.
It to be one of the most amazing prehab exercises for your low back ever invented.
Okay. You say so.
And you not want to deadlift 600 plus pounds when you're 50? That's what you're telling me.
Do you want to deadlift 600 pounds when you're 50? Well, I want to deadlift it naturally. I want to build natural muscles so then it's easy for me to lift it. I don't want to just get there, all that stress of the nervous system to try to lift 600 pounds, and then I got to stay there forever trying to lift it or maintaining that. No thanks.
That is what you're telling me. You just want to be...
The truth is, I'd rather be really super strong, me, physically super strong. So when I go out in the street, nobody can fucking take me. But if I see a strong guy lifting concentrically, and he thinks he's stronger than me lifting eccentrically, he got another motherfucking thing coming to him, man. You understand me, dude? Because nobody at the time when I built myself, nobody could challenge me. I had people trying to put my arm down with 2 arms. So this bullshit lifting, Blaha, is full of shit. I don't believe him. And you too will find out. If you lift eccentrically, you too will find out what it's like to be fucking strong as a beast. Not this guy lifting concentrically here, his nervous system in the gym here, this garage. Your body does 2 things. It doesn't want to put on muscle, right? And if it doesn't want to put on muscle lifting concentrically, what does it do? Well, it allows you to get better lifting concentrically, the weights. That's what it does. All right? The only time it builds muscle is if you go against gravity. Gravity is what makes you big and strong. If you go out in space, you're going to shrink. So you say you want big bones, you got to go with gravity. If you want big, strong bones, you got to go with gravity. Yeah, go against gravity. Yeah, Blaha. Go against gravity. That's intelligent. Okay, whatever.
You want to be hurt. All right. I wouldn't use bands or chains. I won't use this. I won't use that. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Then quit crying you don't get results. And
bands and chains. Yeah, lifting concentrically again. See what I mean?
Here's the reason I say that. Do people not understand how hard it is to get strong and jacked? Like, do people not understand?
Look at him, his biceps. He is wasting his time. They're not getting strong and jacked. Eccentric makes you strong and jacked. Concentric doesn't make you strong and jacked. It makes you better lifting concentrically. That's all it does.
That this is difficult. Like, this takes a lot of work for a long time. Granted, some people are going to have better genetics than others, of
Whatever.
course. Some people are going to find it easier or faster than others.
It has nothing to do with genetics. You have to go with gravity, and Blaha doesn't like to go with gravity.
Right?
Because it's all about the show. It looks better when you're lifting in the opposite direction, lifting concentrically. It appears to look better to some people, lifting concentrically. But you get results lifting eccentrically. See what I mean?
This is a long, arduous, difficult process. It's already hard enough.
It's not associated with any structural changes, bro. Come on, man. You know, you want to go and look, man. You want to go in my community section, you people, and read it for yourself. Christ. Here, Genetic Beast. Go in here. Posts. Scroll down. Okay, it's from this section right here. It's called physiological and neural adaptations to eccentric exercise, mechanisms and considerations for training. Well, I've posted some stuff here. You could read it. Eccentric exercise characterized as initial unfavorable. Yeah, okay, whatever. There are what? It's an effective stimuli for inducing physiological and neural adaptations to training. Eccentric induced adaptations include muscle hypertrophy, increased cortical activity, and changes in motor unit behavior, all in which contribute to improved muscle function. In the brief review, neuromuscular adaptations to different forms of exercise are reviewed. That's what you want, neuromuscular adaptations to different forms of exercise. You want to do a lot of them in the gym. The positive training effects of eccentric exercise are presented, and implications for training are considered. They're considered, man. They do everything, bro. They develop you. Yeah. What I can read this one. Hold on a second. I posted another piece from that up here. You can see since eccentric contractions induce greater mechanical tension on the muscle fibers than concentric exercise, this form of exercise induces a more rapid addition of sarcomeres in series and in parallel. There you go. As inferred, the increase in the muscle cross-sectional area, and there's the structural changes and everything, extracellular matrix. It has been proposed that stretch combined with overload is the most effective stimulus for promoting muscle growth. The most effective. Why would you do something that is not effective, like concentric lifting? During eccentric exercise, skeletal muscle is subject to both stretch and overload. See, it's subject to both stretch and overload. See the difference? Which triggers subcellular damage to the contractile and structural components of the skeletal muscle. This subcellular damage induces a sequence of physiological events, including the activation of master signaling pathways for gene expression and muscle hypertrophy. Get it, bro? So, yeah, I don't know what else to say there. Increased muscle fiber length subject to chronic eccentric work. Okay, whatever. You get the idea, man. So I don't know what Blaha's talking about.
The moment you start saying things like, I'm going to limit what I do, like you're taking something that's already hard to do. Right? You're
Exactly, that's Blaha. He's limiting himself.
taking something that most people, the overwhelming majority of people who undertake will fail.
Man, 95% of the people in the gym are limiting themselves because they don't do any eccentric work. Now, there's a lot of people that do workout in the gym and they never do dips or pull-ups. Never. Because they limit themselves even in the gym. I've seen all kinds of people limit this. Some people don't. Some people do dips and stuff, but then they don't do the other stuff. You understand me? They stick to this thing and then they don't do that and whatever. To me, all exercises are important providing you're doing them eccentrically. You're always going to get something out of it doing it eccentrically.
Fail at it. And you're going to just place limitations for no reason. Okay, and maybe you'll get lucky. Maybe you will get good results. I'm not saying some people don't.
I don't know.
Doing these things. But you're limiting
No. You're limiting
your potential.
Yeah.
And I
Blaha is limiting his potential. Look at him do these concentric dips.
promise you, even if you got great results, you probably could have got better results by willing to use more tools in your toolbox.
See that? It's a partial concentric rep. See, you all people complain about partial reps. That's what all you guys doing in the gym concentrically. For your triceps, for your dips. You guys all lift like this. You're all lifting slaves.
And you have to think of these tools that way, guys.
So many people lift like this in the gym. They get zero results, a zero.
Right? If you have a whole
This is where you get really good. Here's the problem with the concentric part. You get very good at lifting it concentrically. But once you get into the realm of eccentric, this is where you get injured because now you got your neural drive kicked in. You got very good at lifting concentrically, but you are very weak eccentrically because you never built any muscle to protect you. And so the moment you go down with that heavy weight, which you are good concentrically, but weak on the eccentric, bang, you tear those muscles off the bone and surgery hospital for you.
toolbox available to you.
See what I mean? Because in eccentric exercise, we grow with the weight. We grow with the weight. And when we grow with the weight, we're protected. We never get injured. It's a carryover to every sport so you don't get injured. That's the idea.
You say, I'm only going to use a hammer. Really, you're not going to use a screwdriver. You're not going to ever use a tape measure. You're not going to use, an X-Acto knife, an end wrench. You're never going to use any of these things.
If your bath has seen a lot of life, nobody...
An X-Acto knife, an end wrench. You're never going to use any of these things, right? Guys, I want to use a hammer. All right, well, don't cry when your engine doesn't turn out the way that you want it to. Or the house you're building or the building you're building doesn't turn out exactly how you want. Maybe you should use a tape measure and the screwdriver sometimes. Maybe you should try using a torque wrench. So, well, that's for a specific job. Yeah, it's not for the same job as a hammer. Okay. And your training is the same way. Yeah. So, when we get into these things, yes, these are all tools, and I don't care if you're powerlifting or bodybuilding or what it is that you're doing. Okay, these are all still potentially valuable tools to you. Yes, 1 rep maxes are valuable tools. Yes, 10 rep sets are valuable tools. 20 rep sets are valuable tools. Barbells, dumbbells, specialty bars, cables, machines, bands, chains. They're all valuable tools. Stop limiting the tools that you are willing to use. You know, and if anything, when you start limiting tools, that's when overuse goes up, right? You're locked into that same pattern with no variation all the time, over and over. It's when you get hurt. I mean, I see guys all the time. How many guys have we seen that, like that Max Lucinda guy? Still got hurt doing nothing but machines. People say, how could that possibly be? Overuse, especially with the wrong drugs. You're locked into a machine, you're doing just the same machines over and over.
Yeah, he got weak. He's weak on the eccentric. That's why he got injured. Like Blaha. Blaha always gets injured on the eccentric because he's weak. Come on, you guys know that. He's complained about it in all his videos, remember? But he's not getting so much injured now anymore because he stopped doing those crazy things, whatever the hell he's doing there. He just lifts lightweight now.
You're not changing anything, you're not varying anything year after year. Do you not understand what overuse is? Do you not understand that even in various industries and jobs, they talk about overuse injuries in a shoulder? Because even in a factory worker, okay? Do you not grasp this? You're just locked in doing the same pattern? You don't think that's ever going to hurt you or increase?
Yeah, but you can get muscle damage. You can damage muscles by how you damage muscles lifting in a full range of motion is overworking it. So you're not getting injured overworking it. You're getting micro damages. That's another way of doing it. It takes a lot of work, but it's another way. So I don't know what he's talking about. I can prove it.
Injury risk because it's a machine. Like what sort of stupid logic is that? No, really think about that. Why is a machine magically safer? Tell me why a hammer strength machine is safer than deadlifting a barbell. I'm 48. You just watched me do that. I'm 48 years old. I don't ever hurt my back deadlifting. I've never strained my back deadlifting, not once in my life. Maybe because I'm...
That's a lie. There's so many videos of him. He hurt himself. Remember? He talked about hurt his back.
Know how to train and I use the right machines and things
Liar.
to strengthen. Like, yeah, what's stuff you see me doing here? Repping out 315 on a good morning kind of helps.
Blaha is weak eccentrically. He's a liar.
But what sort of goofball logic is that? Well, I won't get hurt in a machine being locked into the same movement pattern. You don't think that will ever possibly injure you? Then you don't know anything about the human body. Again, this is called being a dumbass who doesn't know what they are talking about, and they should
That's Blaha. He's a dumbass. He doesn't know what he's talking about because he gets injured eccentrically. If he was smart, he'd lift eccentrically so he wouldn't get injured.
probably expand their horizons a bit. And that's not mean. I mean, people don't want to hear that. People don't want to be told that they're a dumbass. But you are. You're pretending that you know something about a topic that you clearly don't. It's also called the Dunning-Kruger effect.
And that's absolutely JasonBlaha.
So if you literally can't understand how you could possibly get hurt on a machine through overuse, then maybe you don't need to be writing your own programs at this point. Maybe you don't know enough about exercise to have an opinion, would be my explanation. I'm not being mean, I'm just stating facts. But back over to the...
Okay, let's talk about overuse. Hold on a second. Let's talk about overuse. Let's see if there's another way to get this damage eccentrically, lifting in a full range of motion, okay? Because he says you're going to get injured. All right, hold on a second. Let's see. Images. Here we are. This is from AI overview, okay? Yes, overworking. He says overworking is going to injure you. Yes, overworking a muscle in a full range of motion can lead to what? Micro damage. Did it say injury? No. This occurs when the muscle fibers are repeatedly strained or damaged, often during intense exercise or what? He says overuse. Overuse is going to do what to you? is going to injure you. Well, they're not talking about injury. They're talking about micro damage. That's what builds muscles. See that? So overuse. They're saying overuse, intense exercise or overuse, triggering the body's natural repair and remodeling what process? While this micro damage is a normal part of muscle growth and adaptation, excessive or improper training can lead to overtraining and potential serious, excessive or improper training, maybe. That's Blaha. He improperly trains because he's weak eccentrically. So he's going to get what? Injuries. He's going to get what? Potential for what? Serious injuries. If you try to get really strong on the concentric, but you're weak on the eccentric, which is really stupid. I don't know why anybody would do that, but because they're dumb. And so, and then you've got the potential for serious injuries because you got neurologically stronger concentrically, but you never got physically stronger eccentrically. Get it? So yeah. See, elaboration, micro damage and muscle growth. Intense resistance training and other activities that strain muscles can cause tiny tears and damage. Yeah. But they told you here at the top. See that? Overtraining or overuse injuries. Well, when training intensity or duration is too high or recovery is inadequate. This is where it comes in. So let's say you did get this micro damage, but your recovery is inadequate. You didn't recover enough. You come in right away. Of course you're going to get injured because you're dumb. You're fucking damaged. So the damage can accumulate and lead to overtraining syndrome or overuse injury. See, this is what they say. So when training intensity and duration is too high or recovery is inadequate, micro damage can accumulate and lead to overtraining syndrome or overuse injuries. Yeah, if you don't recover because you're stupid. See what I mean? Overtraining can manifest as fatigue, persistent muscle soreness, decreased performance, and even mood changes. Yeah, overuse injuries, important of recovery, examples of micro damage, and preventing micro damage if you don't want to build any muscle. But anyways, let's go back to Blaha. I don't know where he is now. He's full of shit.
To the point, why are we limiting the tools we're willing to use? You know that varying your tools actually reduces injury risks on top of it. Let's just not talk about getting bigger and stronger.
Right.
How about we not get hurt?
Yeah.
How about using various tools and varying them and rotating them and having the right time and place for a tool? We do that so we don't get hurt.
Yeah. How about we not get hurt? How about we build muscle and not get hurt?
That would be the intelligent approach.
Yeah.
That would be the opposite of being a dumbass. Knowing that every tool has a time and place.
That would be.
Use them appropriately.
That would be, but he's still a dumbass. That's the problem.
All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today.
That's all he has to say. He's a dumbass.
Yeah, I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.
He's going to list some rubber bands. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao, friends. He's going to stay weak forever.